Arthur was in trouble. He could not make both ends meet. He needed to earn enough to look after himself and his family. Perhaps he would have to travel to some place where he could make a good livelihood. Arthur had heard of a king and his prosperous kingdom. It was said that the king appreciated talent, particularly poetry, and was a patron of the arts. He was famed far and wide for his generosity towards artists and craftsmen. Arthur thought that perhaps he could find work and a livelihood in King Royal's court. So, Arthur packed his belongings and went to the capital of the kingdom. When he was finally called to the king's presence, he bowed and asked for the king's permission to recite a poem. The king gave him permission, and when he recited the poem, the king was pleased.
That was good. Name your reward, young man,
beamed the king. There was a chessboard with beautifully crafted pieces lying in the court. Arthur's eyes fell on it, and he pointed towards it.
Would you like that? Is that all?
Asked the king, amused.
No, sir. Would you give me 1 grain of rice for a square? And then double it for each next square?
Requested Arthur.
What?
Said the king, totally surprised.
Rice grains. Neither gold nor coins?
Yes, sir. That's all I need.
Arthur replied, bowing low.
So be it. Bring in some rice,
ordered the king. Rice was brought in, and the measurements began. 1 grain on the first square, 2 on the second, 3 on the third, and so on. Soon the count went up to hundreds, then thousands, lakhs, and finally crores. Lakhs of crores. The court was thunderstruck, and even the king watched in stunned silence as more rice was called for from the granary. Soon, the granary was empty. Arthur smiled and bowed before the king again.
Sir, I do not wish to empty the royal granary. I was just trying to show your court that small steps can help us achieve mighty results. I am your humble subject, sir. I pray that you and your kingdom may grow in prosperity, like this grain of rice.
The king was deeply impressed with the lesson Arthur had taught. But he was even more impressed by the wisdom of this young man. Arthur became a part of the court and was later included among the 8 luminaries of the court.